So I would say if you're here for 3 weeks, then you should be here for 2 days. Maybe go to Gaskop or the Kruger National Park. Then you should come back to Johannesburg, and then you should go to my favorite coastal city in South Africa called Port Elizabeth. Port Elizabeth is now known as Gqeberha, but it's formerly known as Port Elizabeth. No one will be confused if you say Port Elizabeth. And it has a beautiful harbor where you can get really good fish. Oh my gosh, so good. So the normal coastal experiences, like you can go to the beach, various types of like beach experiences, like sand dunes, and it's really, really, really beautiful. Like, and then when you're there for 2 days, then you should hire a car, and then you should drive to on the garden route. The garden route is probably the most beautiful, route in South Africa. It takes you from Port Elizabeth to Cape Town. You don't even have to get to Cape Town. You can stop on the way and you would have an incredible experience. It's about 8 hours drive because most people don't want to drive the garden route for just straight through because it's so much to see. So you can see like it's the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful experiences in Africa. It has like these unbelievable beaches, mountains, national reserves, trees that have lived for like longer than 100 years, birds of many kinds. This place is called Bisigama, which and it's all very breathtaking, so breathtaking. So you have to take at least 2 days on the garden route. I would recommend stopping in Wilderness. It's spelled like wilderness, but it's wilderness, and it's got the most beautiful beach, and you can do like fly fishing and surfing, and it's just really fun. Or you can go to stop at George. It has incredible mountains. Um, and then you can drive all the way to Cape Town, and maybe you don't even need to stop in Cape Town. Then you can go to like Stellenbosch, which is 2 hours away from Cape Town, like an hour and a half, and it's a wine country, and you can do wine tasting and go to beautiful vineyards and go pick fruit to the farms. They allow you to like pick strawberries and apples and just all sorts of different orchards, and it's just a beautiful experience. And you can stay in the Western Cape, especially. You can stay in like really great experience type accommodations. There's one called the Nima Lodge, which is Nima. I would recommend. It's just so beautiful
That's
and
like my middle
breathtaking.
name. My middle,
Maybe then
my
you
middle name
have
is
to come.
Nimi.
Mi. Oh, so it's like Mimi.
Yeah. So I was like, when you started spelling it, I was like, wait a minute. Nima, the Nima Lodge.
You have to stay there. And then there are, I forgot the name of the other places, but you can have many, like, I like experience accommodation in like what is it called? Why have I forgotten? Like a different type style. Like in Pumalanga, there is a hangar. You can stay in a hangar, like this.
More than just like a hotel with a bed and whatever. You gotta immerse yourself in if it's nature, you gotta immerse yourself in the jungle if it's on the beach. I got to say, probably like an immersive experience, kind of.
But it's so comfortable. I wouldn't stay in the jungle.
Well, yeah. No, I meant like I know sometimes they have like tree house hotels, like it's like a kind of cabin type that's still very comfortable, but you're in a jungle.
Yes, yes. No, I hear you 100%. Or you feel like the whole forest is like you're immersed in the entire forest.
Yeah.
Or yeah, and then there are these other places that are made of like these but it's kind of like a tin, like a tin can where you can stay,
A tin can.
and a tin can, but it's like huge, and it's like in this tin can. It's not. It's made of tin. It's made of like material, like tin material, but it's like it's like a form of transportation,
Okay.
like a truck, the back of a truck, like a big
Right.
truck, and then they make like a house out of that, and they
Right.
just put it by like some beautiful mountain, and then you stay in there. So those kind of
Okay.
experiences, you
So
can find a lot of
it's
them.
like fixed, but it's so wait, it's
Yes,
It's is it like container? Like
It's like a container. Yes,
ah
it's a
okay,
container.
okay, yes, I get you. Because I was literally thinking of like a tin can.
Yes, no, oh my gosh. Yeah, so those kind of experiences, they have a lot of those in the Western Cape where you can stay. And so you can drive from Port Elizabeth, drive all the way down and maybe have one of those experiences, go on a vineyard. It's really cool. I'm into nature, but if you
Same.
are into the cosmopolitan cities, I would suggest you go to Johannesburg. Or if you are into like a fun party city, I'd say you should go to Durban. Durban is a coastal city that is known for having a lot of fun. It's like a Miami. It's a
Okay.
mini Miami. It's
Okay.
beautiful. It's always warm. People like to go, to go to the beach, but people like to have fun. They love to have fun there. If you want like a artsy, cool, gives off European fun place, you can go to Cape Town.
As you mentioned European, right? What are the influences in South Africa? Like, I know it's cosmopolitan, but like, I mean, other than the, I guess, British influence that everybody knows about, like, what are probably some other influences that are present in South Africa?
Okay, so I would say, firstly, it's just the way that like our cultures, our inherent cultures. So there are different ethnicities and different cultures. Like I'm Zulu. I speak Zulu. There are Xhosa people. There are Tswana people. There are Bedis, and they all speak their languages and they all carry their different cultures. So that's a huge influence. We are also heavily influenced by this spirit of Ubuntu that we it's something that we all embody in South Africa. It's kind of a it's you Ubuntu. It's Ubuntu. So that's kind of like a huge influence in how people live and act and all of that. But I would say another influence, especially in the big cities, those three that I mentioned, which is Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Durban, is mostly in Johannesburg. I'd say the US has a strong influence. US and Europe has a strong influence. The architecture in those cities is influenced mainly by the British. But apart from that, all the other places, all the other seven, well, six other provinces don't have a cosmopolitan feel. They don't have a
Right.
big city feel. They have a smaller town feel, depending on the culture of the people who live there, the language they speak, and how they live. It all feel like a completely different
So
place.
would you say like the others are like more influenced by I'm not sure if the term is correct, but like the indigenous peoples, like the
Yeah,
um right.
but it's not as so far separated from what you would call quote unquote civilization.
Right.
Um, there's still like electricity, there's running water, and it's not. But it's yeah, it's mostly like culturally, it's culture. Culture speaks to how people live, what they value, what they do on a day to day.
Why I mentioned that is in the Caribbean, we're far removed from, I would say we're far removed from our indigenous people. You know, we are more influenced, I guess you could say, by the colonizers, colonization, you know, but I always find it beautiful that in some African countries that you still have that there also faced colonization and for sometimes even a longer period of time, like you can actually indigenous is not like this old far back thing, like it came into the modern world with us, just as you mentioned, like it still identify with your roots.
Yes, 100%. You can go to like the rural areas where everything is preserved, and there might be a few like Catholic schools and hospitals that were built there. But apart from that, everything else is just like as it was, it's preserved as it was. This is really beautiful. By the way, I think you look South African. Have I not told you this?
No.
Wait, did I think it? I thought it and didn't tell you. You look like a South African. Like your face, your build, you look like a South African.
that is something that I think probably particularly Trinidadians
Hmm.
may get because we're a very cosmopolitan island. We
Hmm.
have like I think probably 90% of Trinidad are mixed. Like, like whether it be Indian, African, Chinese, Portuguese, like, the European mixes like French and whatnot. Like, so I find like when I travel to places, I get that a lot. So like how you may say like I look South African because South Africa also has like a very cosmopolitan um
Yes,
culture,
yes,
if you want to go into races and whatnot. Like,
yes.
so I traveled to Malaysia last year and it was the
Mhm.
same thing. Like, they were like, you look Malay, you look Malay. And I'm like, as I travel, any country that has a cosmopolitan feel to it or is like influenced by multiple races or has a very diverse history in terms of let's go back to colonization. Like they always look at Trinis and be like, you look like us. Like because we're mixed up as well. So it's like very easy to
Yeah,
like pick up and be like, oh yeah, you must be from here.
it's so wild. Like if you didn't open your mouth, like if I didn't hear your accent, I would be like, you're South African. You're South African. You probably be Xhosa, which I'm sure you probably wouldn't be able to pronounce at this stage. But yeah, most Xhosa people, so they are more light skinned. Botswana people, they're more light skinned like you, and they have your features. Like, and you're right, maybe the features are mixed, but it's your features and your body type as well, like the whole combination. So
I haven't been to South Africa as yet, but as you told me that I look South African, how would I say something in Zulu? Teach me something so that when I arrive, like I could probably fool some people that I know how to speak.
okay,
Like,
so first I'm going to teach you a few slang words, like two, not one slang word, and I'm going to teach you one phrase that South African use a lot, and I'll tell you what context they use, and then I'm going to teach you how to say hello in isiZulu. But so South Africans say "ish" a lot. It's spelled E-H. It's spelled E-I-S-H. Ish. And when something something unpleasant happens, like something annoying or something surprising, you'd say "ish." I'm
ish.
sorry. Like you'd say to someone else, like if they said, "Oh, I had a bad day at work," you say, "Ish, I'm sorry." So
So
ish
it's a
communicates
it's a response to somebody telling you like they're having a bad day or like they're irritated.
something unfortunate happens or they're in an unfortunate circumstance.
Okay.
Yeah, then
Ish.
you say ish.
Ish.
And then
It's like
a
geez.
word that we use,
I guess it's like geez.
huh?
It's kind of similar to
Yeah,
like geez, oh my, like something like that.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Another word, we use this word a lot, it's shame. But we don't say, "Oh, shame on you," or "shame," "shame on you." How could you? It's more like an "Oh, I'm sorry." If someone falls, you say, "Oh, shame, I'm sorry." So it's like a compassion word. Oh, shame. Like I had a terrible flight, turbulence, all of that. Someone would say, "Oh, shame."
Okay, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
So ish and shame.
Yes. And then how you say, so I speak isiZulu, and how you say hello in isiZulu is sawubona.
Repeat. Sam
Sawubona.
Sambuna.
Sawubona. So it's
Sawbona.
S-A-W. Sawubona. Yeah.
Sawbona. Okay, Sawbona.
Yeah. Sawubona. And when translated, it means I see you. You know, like the movie in
Oh,
Avatar?
yeah.
Means I see you.
Sawbona.
Yeah.
I love that. I
Yeah.
see you. I love that because
Mhm.
like, like in America especially, I feel like
Mhm.
their way of saying hello is hi, how you going? But they don't actually mean for you to answer how you're going or how are you,
Mhm.
you know? So
Mhm.
I feel like Sawubona
Mhm.
is like I see you. Like I feel like sometimes in
Mhm.
America it's like just a formality and they don't see you. like
Mhm.
like hi, how are you?
That's
And
so
like if you go
true.
to respond, like yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, so the documents are here and be like, asked me, how am I? I'm answering you.
Yeah.
Like sourdough, like see you means like that. I love that.
Acknowledge you. I see your heart. And how you would respond to that is ngiyapila,
Nia pila,
meaning I'm alive. Yeah,
nia
ngiyapila
pila.
meaning I'm alive. Yeah.
I love that. I feel I'm gonna start to speak Zulu. It's 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 good for the spirit. It sounds really good for the spirit.
I think so. If you really think through what you're actually saying, it's really deep, but it's very tangible. It's like
Yeah.
that I see you and I'm alive, and so
Yeah.
that's how the language is. And yeah, so
Talk about speaking things into existence.
hmm
And as somebody who travels, like, I mean, I know
hmm
you've been to Mozambique, you've been to Morocco with us, you've been to the US, you've been to Ireland. Do you have any travel tips or like something that you must travel with other than your phone? Because like I had somebody else that asked the questions and then they're like on my phone and I'm like, damn, no.
okay, this is gonna sound really um like like not as exciting, but I think you should travel with a universal plug.
There we go.
You
That's a
should
very good
invest in
suggestion.
one.
Yeah.
Because I find that we use a European style plugs, and America uses American, and when I've been to Asia, it's different, and even within like I feel I could be wrong, like European countries sometimes it's different. And so I've found that a universal plug, just buying one wherever you are, that can transform into any type of
Yeah.
plug you want, is a
Yep.
must.
And the thing is sometimes you
Um,
travel and you actually forget it. Like even seasoned travelers. Like recently I went to Dominica and Dominica is between two French islands. And I did not realize that they have European sockets. Like they're still known as like, English speaking. So I thought, well, they will just have the same as Trinidad. And I'm like, that. So like it's still like even for seasoned travelers, as you say, it's very good to just travel, like have that in your travel bag, regardless of where you're going.
yeah. Another must for me is an eSIM. It's an eSIM card. Those are really good. I've used this one called Elo, Air, it's A, Elo. Really good. Charges in US dollars, but if you solo traveling, I would recommend so that you can know where you are and yeah.
What we did not talk about, which is like the
hmm
most important thing, like I feel that matters to most humans. Through your travels, how would you compare to, let's say, South African food? Like I know you mentioned the seafood, like at the town that's like about 2 hours away from Cape Town. But like, what's your favorite food or must tries when people come to South Africa?
Okay. So you have to try this. It's called a kota or pato, but kota is probably easier because it comes from the word a quarter, like a quarter or something, right?
Okay.
So it's kota. It's South Africanized to kota, which is
Oh,
Kota, kota,
quarter. Oh, like a
kota.
quarter.
Yeah, and it's made from a hollowed out quarter loaf of bread,
Mm-hmm.
and it's filled with a variety of ingredients like potato chips, which is like French fries, egg, sausage, beef patty, cheese, bologna, acha. Acha is this amazing mango. It's like
Oh, we
think
have
kimchi.
Acha in Trinidad. We do. Yes.
I love that. I love that.
Yes.
You know, it's also mango
But
based.
that sounds good though. Like, I mean, we would not mix acha with like those things that you just said, like egg and
It's
sausage
yes, mango
and like,
based as well.
sorry?
The mangoes. It's made out of mangoes.
Yeah. Like
What?
I mean, like it's the acha is made out of mango, but like that quarter, like that mix that you just described, we wouldn't put it with that. Like we more do our acha with curry. It's more,
Is it also called acha?
yeah. And it's
Is
mango.
it imported
Yeah.
from South Africa?
No, not from South Africa. Like I think our own more than likely would have been influenced by India. But
Oh, I see. Do you also call it acha?
yeah.
Amazing. I love that. I didn't know that.
Let me make sure I'm not
But yeah.
representing my country. But like
Yeah, it's the quota and the acha is kind of influenced a
yeah, it's
bit by.
mango ancha or acha, like both of them. Yeah.
I love that. Okay. So that's one of the things you can try in South Africa. You can also go for a braai on a weekend. In weekends, there's always a braai happening, and a braai is basically a barbecue. It has like various meats, including South Africa's boerewors, which is a South African sausage, which is delicious. You have to try it. And we also served with the meat is a mini meal called pap,
Right.
P-A-P, called
Pap.
pap, which is made of mini meal, and it looks like porridge, but like if you add a little bit more mini meal in the porridge, it becomes a bit harder. It's not hard, but it's a
Right.
thick porridge, and then adding a bit more mini meal, and then it becomes like a bit harder. It becomes like a starch, and
Right.
you have that with the side of like a vegetable relish called chakalaka.
I like the
It's a fun
sound of that.
one. Yeah, so those are some of the things I would recommend that you try. But depending on where you are as well, there are different things
Yeah.
that you could try in different parts of South Africa.
Well, I'm just gonna let the people know because, I checked it for myself because I will be coming to South Africa at some point.
Nice.
But yes,
Nice.
from Miami, it's like right now, like if you travel, because I mean, we always encourage people to book their tickets early. So right now, for me from Miami, it's like 1,050 US return with Turkish Airlines. And from JFK, it's 1,142 US return with Qatar Airlines. Even from, well, as you go further, like get nearer to the airports, from Gatwick, it's 1,000. And from like Hong Kong, it's like $1,010. And even from like Gatwick Airport right now, you could probably get a flight return as cheap as 750 US return. With up for my
Wow.
miles people with One Wheel Alliance. Y'all know that's my miles account, my frequent flyers miles account of choice. It's 80,000 miles from Miami or JFK return and 60,000 from Gatwick, London. So y'all take advantage if you want to go. Like, I mean, try all the great food, see all the wonderful places. You heard it, you don't have to go to Kruger National Park, but it's still a
Yes.
wonderful experience. You don't have to like expense yourself as much as to like stay
Mhm.
in Kruger National Park. But
Mhm.
I'm still gonna call you Nono. So it's like
Yes.
thank you so, so much. This meant so much to me to have you as my second guest talking about South Africa. Like it's one of the places that I'm dying to come to.
Oh, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. This is amazing, and I'm so glad to be a part of it.